Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday night. I hope everybody is ready for a very long evening. So, we've got lots to go over. I was just going to do a short video. I went ahead and decided I'm just going to go ahead and go live. As you can see here on your screen, that little line of cumulus that we've been watching, it is now starting to pick up in intensity and picking up a few thunderstorms along that line. So I thought I would go ahead and go live, especially since weather radios are down. So I am actually going to be helping maybe some of our friends up north in Kansas City, Wyandotte County, down through Cass County, and then of course into west central Missouri, since we do not have weather radios. Right now, these thunderstorms that are producing along this cold front, they're not real deeply rooted right now, meaning that they're producing a lot of lightning. You see down at the bottom right hand corner of your screen, that's actually from Bates County looking west. So it's looking at this line of storms right here. So it is producing a lot of lightning. But right now, it's really behaving itself. We're going to watch that as that line moves closer to the state line and into west central Missouri, where there's just a little bit better ingredients over here in west central Missouri. We might see a severe thunderstorm warning or two pop off here, probably somewhere around 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that. We are not under any kind of watch right now for west central Missouri. You see our little warning, watch, and advisory ticker is awfully bare, which is a good thing. If it's not showing anything, that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and stay with you guys for the extended time tonight. I might take a few breaks, but in that way nobody's going to be searching for information. I'm going to be here. You're going to have all the latest warnings, watches, advisories coming across the screen. You're going to have radar up, and I'm going to be with you guys for the night. And because here's the thing, this line is not the only thunderstorm that we're going to be getting. This is really going to be about a three-part storm system. We're going to get this little cold front move through, and then at the same time, we've got a dry line pushing up to the northeast, and we're going to get round two probably sometime around 2 a.m. So this is going to be a long night. Matter of fact, let me just show you what the current models are showing right now. And so, of course, here's these storms that are happening right now. Okay, you notice that line. There are going to be a few thunderstorms that move through west central Missouri. That's 11 o'clock. Right up here is your timestamp. So about 11 o'clock, we get a few thunderstorms that roll through the area. Now, I'll be watching them for any stronger isolated thunderstorms. And then look at this glob that comes in from the south at around 3 a.m. And that is what I was talking about earlier today, something I am watching for, and that for the potential of a bow echo, in which this is kind of looking like maybe a setup for a bow echo, meaning strong straight line winds ahead of this line of storms. So that's 4 o'clock. We're looking at 5 o'clock hitting Johnson, Henry, St. Clair, Benton, and Pettis counties. So we're going to be kind of a 2, maybe 3-step process tonight that we're going to be going through. So very, very long night ahead of us. I've got plenty of bottled water, and I got a pot of coffee brewing in the back. And a storm chaser rule. I went out and bought plenty of snacks too. for the night. So, and again, I might take a little bit of a break, especially once this line of storms move through our area. I might take a little break, but I'm still going to be live. I'm going to stay here with you for the night. So, I am going to go ahead and put this back to radar. And we will watch this line of storms, and you can really see the cold front. Let me move this over here. Let me show you guys. This is what I also keep up on my screen. Let me put this into full screen here for you. So, these are the winds. Can you guys see that wind shift? We've got northwest winds coming down between Emporia, Eureka, Winfield, Kansas. And take a look at these winds here. They're all coming up from the south and really almost due south. So there's our line from Ottawa, Garnett, Iola, Fredonia, down to Sedan, Kansas, and then all the way down into Stillwater, Oklahoma. That is our front. Now, as this continues to push to the east, it's also going to be shoving everything north, and we're going to get some of those thunderstorms along that dry line come right through west central Missouri at 2, 3, 4 a.m. But you can really tell where those, take a look at the difference in temperature. We got 59 in Linden, Kansas, and you go about 15, 20 miles to Ottawa and it's 71. So, big changes once this line continues to kind of move through and stall out. And then we get that big influx of rain and thunderstorms coming up from the southwest. So, anyway, we're going to keep a very close eye on this. You guys hopefully seen my update just a little bit ago. I contacted the National Weather Service again on weather radios. They issued that statement stating that there is no estimated time for return to service, although they have been working diligently to get the weather radios back up, but obviously they are not having much success with that. So no weather radio tonight, so you guys are going to be stuck here with Subby. And we had a good time today at Sedalia. We had at the Missouri State Fairgrounds, we had a little seminar on weather awareness. Got to meet face to face with several members of Subby's Weather Talk that I have not met before. So that was really, really cool. And we gave away some Subby swag, and we gave away weather radio, and we had a great time. So thank you guys that made the trip up there to see. I am going to go, and if you guys do hear in the background, that is local scanner. I do have that on here for our area, so I can kind of keep up with anything as these storms might roll in tonight. So, hi, Judy. Rick Motley, good evening. Hey, Derek, you made it in, buddy. Hey, VR, good evening. Hi, Sally. Hey, there, Davis. I was wondering who VR was. I didn't know who that was. No, it's not a good time for the weather radio not to work. This is actually our third event that we've had that we did not have weather radios. So, I'm crossing my fingers that over the radio waves that the EAS is going to work, and that our mass communication software is going to work. National Weather Service says it's going to work, but I know the last time we had this same issue, we couldn't get any automatic warnings coming out over the radio. Clay Radford is standing by tonight with 95.3 KDKD, and he will be going live if the EAS system is not operational. So we discussed this a little bit earlier tonight. So 95.3 KDKD, Radford Media Group, Clay is standing by if he needs to go live to bring some reports into the radio on the airwaves. So definitely appreciate that, and that's something he feels very strongly about. And of course, that's their motto, community first. So hi, Tammy. You bet. Hi, Esther. Hi, Drake. So again, what we're gonna do tonight, guys, it's gonna be an extended live session. I really don't see if this line moves through and we end up with a 3-4 hour break, then yeah, we might go ahead and take a break and then come back in later on. But I am planning on staying live for the duration tonight. I may take a couple breaks here and there. I will keep radar up, as well as if we do get under any watches or warnings, you will see this ticker down at the bottom of your screen. It will flash and it will post the warnings, watches, and advisories automatically for West Central Missouri. So great tool that we implemented this year here at Subby's Weather Talk. So hey, Kevin. Hey, good to have you, Kevin. He is down in Brinkley, Arkansas, checking the weather for the Kansas City, Western Missouri area. Well, Kevin, we're basically just kind of waiting. It's kind of going to be a two-part process. We're going to kind of wait for this secondary cold front come through, and that's where you see that line of thunderstorms out there in eastern Kansas. And then as that cold front swings out, it's going to bring with it pretty much a wall of rain and thunderstorms around the 3 a.m. time frame here in West Central Missouri. One thing I've noticed, again, this line of storms that we're looking at from Platte City down to Overland Park, down to Osawatomie, Kansas, there's a lot of lightning. It's a loud thunderstorm, but these cells just aren't getting rooted into the atmosphere, and it's really tough for them to really gain the strength. So we've seen a couple special weather statements. We've seen a couple severe thunderstorm warnings from a couple of these cells out kind of further west into Kansas, but right now they're behaving very, very well. Now they are going to continue to move into a little bit better environment supportive of thunderstorms. So I'm going to be sticking around watching what this line does, and hopefully it behaves itself, and then we will be in a waiting game for the complex down here in Oklahoma to make its way into West Central Missouri early in the morning. You're east of KC, Arlene. The lightning is crazy. Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's what we're looking at down in the bottom right-hand corner. That is actually from one of the sky cams. It's in Bates County, and it's actually looking west toward this line of storms out here in eastern Kansas. And of course, you can just see just constant lightning happening out there along the horizon there on the cam. So yeah, it's gonna be a very loud night. For those of you that have pets such as mine, you will hear my lightning detector, is what I call him. He's my lightning detector. You'll hear him go off several times as we go through the night tonight. So will it reach the Kansas City area? I think it's going to stay just on the southeast side of KC Metro, Sidra. And I'll show you what, one more time. We've got some time to kill right now. We'll go back over to the short-term models. And, of course, there's that line that's moving through currently. We got to let it load up here real quick. So as that line moves through, we'll be watching for any scattered, isolated, heavier thunderstorms as this line that we've been looking at moves through. And then as we go into the morning hour, you see it is going to skirt the Kansas City metro area. But where I'm concerned about is going to be right down here in Bates, Henry, St. Clair, Hickory County. That's where I'm going to be a little bit concerned for that bow echo, for the strong straight line wind being pushed out ahead of that line of thunderstorms, where we could see 60, 70, possibly 80 mile an hour winds out ahead of this line of storms. So yeah, Kansas City is going to get part of this cluster of thunderstorms early in the morning, but I do believe that the strongest part of this line is likely going to be from say around Garden City, Missouri, down through Henry County, Clinton, Osceola, Deepwater, down through Hickory County, and over toward Nevada, Vernon County, and Carthage. This area right in here will likely be the strongest part of that line of storms. Of course, be watching for a couple of large hail thunderstorms down here around Pittsburgh. It could even cross the line into Vernon County as well. So we'll have a lot to look at once we get to around that 3 a.m. time frame. Catherine, you got to remember, Catherine, not everybody enjoy a very severe thunderstorm like you do. You're a storm chaser. So it looks like they have up in Leavenworth, Kansas, up here. Looks like they are reporting some pea-sized hail. Leavenworth city limits. If anybody is up in this area. But right now, that's about the strongest. Platte City, radar is showing the possibility of seeing maybe 1-inch hail, but that's very borderline. And of course, this would be heading over towards Smithville. Let's take a little closer dissection of this particular cell. Really not seeing a whole lot. You will see some red returns right in here. That's hail that would be likely falling, that you see right here where my cursor is at. Very light returns right now, just off the surface at about 4,000 feet. So it very likely might not be hitting the ground right now. We'll keep an eye on that cell. They could put a special weather statement out for this particular cell for maybe some pea-sized hail. I don't think that 1-inch hail is actually reaching the ground. Even though it has maximum hail size 1 inch, I don't think 1 inch is hitting the ground. Maybe pea size. And that'd be coming into Platte City. Hi, Stephanie. Good to have you here. Alan, any PSP, Pastor Snow Day probability is a big fat 0 tonight, Alan. Good try. Good try. Hey, congratulations, Alan, too. I believe I read earlier today. Did you say it was the 28th or 38th year as being pastor of your church? That's incredible. That's incredible. Congratulations. So again, this cell up here, Platte City, looked like it will stay just northwest of Smithville. Maybe up to pea-size, dime-size hail. Maybe a couple gusty winds right now, but it is under severe limits right now. We have another cell out here, Lake Rivera, Shawnee, Kansas. It's going to be moving off to the east, northeast. And then another cell down here by Paola. A timestamp for Sedalia or Smithton. Kayla, it's going to be really hard, girl, because what we're doing, we're seeing really how this line is reacting. Right now, this line of storms is behaving itself. We're going to wait and see what it does as it crosses across the state line. Most of these cells are moving at about 30, now that's 52, 33, 35 miles per hour to the northeast. So I am watching for any stronger cells that might be in this line, but our biggest threat, I feel, is going to be probably right around the 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. time frame, Kayla. So, there's a chance this line of storms might actually come across the state line and just kind of fizzle out. The reason why it's so tough right now to figure out what this line is going to do is because we have a layer of warmer air above our heads, and it depends on if any of these storms can get rooted enough into the atmosphere to blow the top off of that lid, and then have thunderstorms start feeding along itself and having them intensify. There's a potential that could happen, but from the trends right now, most of these storms are behaving themselves, staying below severe limits. So, and again, 3, 4 a.m. I feel is going to be maybe our biggest threat to see some strong straight line winds coming through west central Missouri. But we still have to get through this line, and then we'll start talking a little bit about that cluster of thunderstorms overnight. Hi, Sierra. You hope it fizzles out. So I think I pretty much answered all your questions there for Windsor, for Appleton City. I think I just kind of answered all that with my last description. Right now, it's kind of a wait and see. Been watching models the last 3-4 days. Been watching all the data coming in. Potential is still there to see a couple of strong thunderstorms with large hail, maybe damaging winds. But right now, because it's still in that capped environment, these storms have been remaining below severe limits. But that is why we are live tonight, to keep you guys updated on any changing conditions, as well as with the weather radios not being operational this evening. I want to make sure everybody has the latest information. So I'm planning on being here for the night, guys. So I'm going to be taking some breaks throughout the night, But I'm going to have radar up. We're going to have, if we have any watches, warnings, or advisories, you're going to see them along that bottom scroll. And we're just going to stay here with y'all and keep you informed tonight. I probably would not be live right now if the weather radios were operational and everything was kind of operating as normal. But I opted to go ahead and go live and just keep an eye on these storms, let you guys know where they're at, so that we could get warnings out maybe a little bit quicker if the need arises. So, yeah, Sierra, I'm going to be live all night. I'm going to be live all the way till we get that big cluster of storms at 4 a.m. So, and again, I might be taking a break here and there, just to kind of stretch my legs and grab me a snack. I got plenty of snacks, so I seen my dad. I'm fortunate enough to live about a block away from my folks, and I seen my dad sitting on the front porch as I was driving by, and this was about 2 hours ago, and he was just like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I gotta go get snacks. By golly, if you're gonna be watching storms, you gotta have snacks." So I went out. I got plenty of them for tonight. It is in Dayton, Missouri, is where that camera is at. See if I can find it. Right here. That's Dayton. So Dayton it's really tough because we've got some ground clutter from the radars. It is west of Creighton, and it's just east of Archie. So it's right there at the Bates Cass County line, kind of. But it's actually picking up all this lightning from this cell over here in Paola. I know, Catherine. So many model runs. And, everybody talking about, being a big overhype. And, I mean, I've got my own feelings on that. I mean, you've got a whole bunch of social media guys that are out there right now. This is their full-time job, is to storm chase, to get people in on their streams. That's their sole income. They've got to have people come to their streams. So obviously you've got to have to kind of talk up, and you see several bullet points out there talking about, severe weather outbreak, tornado outbreak, trying to get people into the stream. Actually, me and Isaac from Nader Boys, we discussed this on the way home tonight from Sedalia, from the Home and Garden show there at State Fair. And, everybody that we're trying to get associated with, of course, Nader Boys. We've got 417 Chaser down in Springfield. Matt Jones, great dude. They've got a large presence down there in Springfield. Actually, I think Nader Boys are going to be riding with them for the storms from Springfield and east tomorrow. And, we're all in that same mindset of, you tell it like it is. You don't overhype. You educate people on what they can expect. You keep the anxiety down, and people appreciate that. And that's exactly the way we handle these storms and going live and the information that we bring to you guys. So I would not be surprised if this little cell right here, just west of Lewisburg, Kansas, could go severe warned. It looked like it's a little bit deeper rooted. I'm going to do an analysis on the hail on that real quick. Yeah. Now that's what a good hail signature looks like. If you guys see the purples and the reds actually extending up to about 23,000 feet, that's a pretty good indicator you've got some pretty good hailstones in this particular cell. You remember the one we just looked at just a little bit ago? There's a little bit of pink, a little bit of red, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above. Really small hail, if anything. This is a good hail return. So I would say I would not be surprised to see this be under a severe thunderstorm warning for this cell, and it could track over into parts of Cass County here over the next 45 minutes. So we'll keep a close eye on that particular cell. Oh, Crazy Acres. You know, we have one more person, and that's Misty, and she's probably in here right now. She always comes to the live stream. That's the last remaining package from you guys with those salted caramels, and it's been sitting at the desk at KDKD now for a week. And I tell you, if Misty is out there listening to this, she better hurry up, or those are liable to be gone come Tuesday or Wednesday. You're the model reader for your group, Catherine? Well, vertically integrated liquid on that cell out there is not overly impressive. Probably nickel size hail from this particular radar that we are using. This is VIL, vertically integrated liquid, and what it does, it can actually, it comes from the radar beam hits the cell, it comes back, and it can actually measure the different size of particles up there in the cloud, how big the raindrops are. Now, obviously, when you get to the pinks and the grays and the whites, that's when you start getting up into bigger masses, larger objects such as quarter-size hail. Right now, I'm not seeing that with the vertically integrated liquid radar, but be keeping a close eye on that here over the next few minutes. So this one up here by just west of Smithville, I think it's going to stay just west of Smithville. Maybe just the outer western side of Smithville, but that has a healthy hail core on this one as well. Let's do a dissection on that. So yeah, it has a very healthy hail core up to about 22,000 feet. And that's actually where that hail growth area is between the 18 and the 22,000 feet range with this particular cell. So just west of that, if you're in Smithville, just be prepared for at least nickel size hail. And again, I would not be surprised if this particular cell would go severe warned. Because it has a pretty healthy hail core. Let's go to vertically integrated liquid. Okay, so you see the grays right here? Actually down here now. Now this is just on the southwest side of Smithville, taking direct aim at Smithville. So this is probably getting close to quarter size hail just southwest of Smithville. So if you're living in Smithville or St. Luke's North Hospital, You need to be prepared to see some larger hail be coming through there in about 10-15 minutes. Looks like this one down here, Lewisburg, has weakened a little bit somewhat. But actually, Belton is going to start to feel some of the outer bands of this cell here momentarily. Oh, yes, Crazy Acres. Yeah, we need lots more of those caramels and the cinnamon rolls too. Jessica, how is Benton County and Henry County line on A highway? Well, as kind of like what I had talked about before, Jessica, we're kind of in a wait and see period. Right now, most of these cells have all behaved fine. As they cross the state line, they go into just a little bit better environment. We're going to have to kind of wait and see how these cells progress. If they get maybe a little stronger, it's almost like they're pulsing. They get a little stronger and then they weaken. Then they get a little stronger, then they weaken. They can't get rooted into the atmosphere. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this line develops, if it does. But our biggest threat, I feel like, is likely going to be coming in overnight tonight around 3-4 a.m. So here's our line that we're going to be watching coming in at about 11 to midnight. We're going to be watching for any stronger storms out of that line that we're looking at right now. But take a look to the southwest, down around Oklahoma. We're going to have a large complex of thunderstorms move in around 3-4 a.m. And we stand a chance then to see some strong straight line winds, maybe some hail. We'll be watching that one very closely. Same thing, Mary. What I just mentioned, hon. So we're just kind of in the wait and see mode right now to see how this line fills in or begins to break up as it comes across the state line. Take a look at this strong cell here up. It looks like it's right over Smithville right now. Boy, look at that hilltop. My goodness. So yeah, I'm really surprised this has not gone severe. I mean, it's nearly right over Smithville, Paradise, Smithville Lake area. If there's anybody out there camping this weekend, as nice as what it was, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. But yeah, I'd say this is definitely the strongest cell we have out there right now, right over Smithville. And notice this cell out here in eastern Kansas has weakened considerably here over the last 5 minutes or so. From Cincinnati, getting ready for your storms tomorrow. Yes. So we've got a large area. You guys see the? Let's go to the outlooks. So let's go day 2 tomorrow. So this center area right here, the center circle, that's an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms. And then we have a slight risk surrounding that. That goes all the way up to the Great Lakes and all the way down into Texas. And then we also have a just a marginal risk outside of that. So crazy weather. We ought to have a large outbreak of severe storms down here in southeast Missouri and into parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas. So I do see we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And that is for that cell that we were watching up in Smithville. For quarter-size hail, 60 miles per hour winds. And that is going to be for Clinton County, northwestern Clay, northeastern Platte County, and west central Missouri. So 950 severe thunderstorm located over Smithville, moving northeast at 35, 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-size hail. So that was the cell we were just looking at. Is now severe warned. Hi, Roger. We're getting ready to head back to Calhoun. Are we looking to head back home? Are we gonna be out of it soon? Well, are you in Clinton, Roger? Heading back to Calhoun? I don't know where. I'm assuming you're here in Clinton, heading to Calhoun. So, I mean, right now, we're still. What is it? Almost 10 o'clock. We're still a couple hours away from any storms here in Henry County. Oh, Smithville. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I tell you what. Just give it. It's moving really quickly, Roger. So, it's moving about 30 miles per hour. If you give it about 10 minutes, give it about 10 minutes, and then you ought to be in pretty good shape to go ahead and start head back. But give it 10 minutes. Let this thing get out of the north side of Smithville. You're still going to run into a few thunderstorms on the way home, but that's by far the strongest one that we have going on right now is up there in Smithville. Hey, Matt Wareham. How are you, buddy? Hi, Alexis. So, the tornado threat, all in all night tonight, is very, very low for west central Missouri. So, I can't say it's zero, but it's very, very low. Our biggest threat tonight is going to be for large hail and damaging straight line winds. So that's what we're waiting for. And really, I'm not very impressed with this line of storms here, guys. I mean, it's just not getting its act together very much. They're not getting rooted. We do have this a little bit stronger of a thunderstorm moving into Cass County right now, into parts of Belton and Raymore. Right now, just a little bit of lightning, some moderate to heavy rain. But other than that, that's about it. I'm not seeing any hail within this cell anymore. So, and again, these things are just kind of pulsing. They get a little stronger, then they weaken, and then they get a little stronger, then they weaken. So, They're just not getting rooted into that rich moisture and instability up there in the atmosphere right now. So I'm not really all that confident there's really going to be a whole lot going on with this initial line of storms that be coming through. We're going to be probably concentrating on this big cluster of thunderstorms down here in Oklahoma that will be moving up into our area overnight around the 3 to 4 a.m. time frame. Hi, Greg. You're about right in there, Grego. With all that ground clutter, it's really hard to see some of the towns on radar. It's picking up a lot of that moisture. Because I'd say we are... Let's look at dew points right now. So I'd say that's probably about right. Maybe a little low. But it's showing upper 50s for dew points right now. These are going to be the dew points. 57 in Clinton, 59 in Harrisonville, 55 in Warrensburg, 56 in Knob Noster. Now we go over to on the back side of this cold front, and we got dew points in the 30s. And that is what's going to be heading our way tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow night's lows are going to be back down into the 30s. So hopefully nobody completely shut off their furnace. You might need that tomorrow night. Yeah, you're going to be okay right now, Greg. I'm not too concerned with really anything along this line. Heavy rain, kind of watching to see if it might pulse up, get a little stronger. But right now, I'm just hadn't seen really much of anything with that. Checking with the Storm Prediction Center, no new mesoscale discussion for West Central Missouri as of yet. So we're just going to have to continue to monitor. So my aunt lives up in Smithville, and she just said they had some pretty good thunder and lightning and a little bit of pea-sized hail at their location up in Smithville. So again, guys, I'm just going to throw this out there at you guys. I'm planning on staying live throughout the night. Okay, I'm going to be taking a few breaks here and there, stretch my legs. I will likely turn the camera off, grab something to eat, grab a snack, whatever. But I'm planning on staying with us until we get that cluster of thunderstorm moved through. Make sure you share the stream to anybody. And again, we're gonna run out of things to say over the next 5-6 hours of live stream. However, make sure you share it with anybody that is wanting to know what, and especially once we get past that 10:30 hour after the 10 o'clock news. I don't watch the local news. I don't have a means to be able to watch the local news. But after that 10:30, when the news goes away, then people kind of they start wondering where they can go to get weather information, make sure you send them over to the stream, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I'm on all of it, and it doesn't make any difference which stream they choose. And make sure they know that it's available to them. And we're going to have radar up all night. We're going to have chat up all night. And we're going to continue to monitor these storms, especially since weather radio is down for tonight. Hi, Devin. And again, the 3 to 4 a.m. time frame, cluster of thunderstorms, we could be looking at very strong straight line winds as the primary threat. Yeah, I already got the coffee brewed, and got my Gatorades, so I'm going to be, I took a little snooze after our weather seminar in Sedalia today. So, took a little snooze. So, I think I can make it that long. Of course, if any watches or warnings or advisories come out for West Central Missouri, any of our 8 counties, they will show up right along that ticker that's scrolling across the bottom. Right now, we don't have anything here in West Central Missouri. But if we do get under a watch of some sort or a warning, it will show up down there and it will flash. So, let's see here. 2 miles north of Smithville and Clay County, they do have a couple of reports of 1-inch hail. So that's quarter size. So that was from a train spotter reported that. So that's 2 miles north of Smithville. Hi, Gracie. Tornado is very unlikely tonight. The chances are not 0, but they're very, very low tonight. Mainly going to be just a hail and wind threat. Oh my Kelly. Oh gosh. Kelly says she'll be snoozing right through the storm until her phone goes off. Yeah, by 2 in the morning, you guys will probably check in on the live stream, and I'm sound asleep up here at my computer. Yeah, Sierra. Right now, like I said, these storms, they're just not. There's quite a bit of lightning. What's kind of odd too, you notice there's quite a bit of lightning way ahead of that line of storms, and that's one of the reasons why when I go to area schools and we get talking about lightning, we get talking about thunder. How you can tell how far lightning is by counting the seconds and dividing by 5. And we have a slogan, if you hear it roar, go indoors. Because lightning can actually strike many miles away from the thunderstorm. And we've got really good example as we have several lightning strikes here well ahead of the line of thunderstorms. So that's the reason if you hear lightning, or I'm sorry, if you hear thunder in Harrisonville, you need to go indoors because lightning is just a few miles away from you, even though the storm might be 50 miles away from you. So that's a good example of why you should pay attention to the thunder and head indoors. That was my lightning detector, but I don't think there's any lightning or thunder here in Clinton yet. That could be a cat alert. Maybe he's seen a cat. That would be funny though, wouldn't it? Be sitting here and doing a live stream. Somebody goes and check in on your live stream, see what the weather's doing, and the guy's like dead asleep. That would be my luck. I'd get on American Funniest Videos or something. Kind of checking on all of just checking on everything here, all my messages. I got a few people wanting to come into the room. I'm gonna let those guys come in. So again, kind of a recap, just a little bit. So we do have a rather robust thunderstorm that is going to be coming into Cass County. You're kind of feeling it up there in Belton Raymore area. Also down by Lake Annette, Freeman, Westline, Peculiar. And then all the way down, let's see, this is going to be Lissell, the town of Lissell. Well, that must be a small town. I haven't heard that one before. This is all going to be north of Drexel. Robust thunderstorm. Maybe some small pea-sized hail coming out of it, but for the most part, just a lot of lightning and torrential rains for a short amount of time. It's moving to the east at 29 miles per hour right now. And we got down there at the bottom right-hand side, you are actually looking at a camera looking off to the... that's going to be from Dayton, Missouri, which is just west of Creighton. Pretty much on the Bates-Cass County line. Looking off toward this thunderstorm off to the west. Take a look at temperatures here real quick. We've got 70 degrees in Clinton. Let's see what my weather station shows. My weather station shows 73 here in Clinton right now. So we got about 70, 73 degrees here in Henry County, 73 in Harrisonville, 68 in Warrensburg, 73 at Knob Noster. And then behind this, we've got 50s and 60s. And then behind the cold front, we have 40s already out in Salina and Junction City, Kansas, already down into the mid to upper 40s. We got 30s up here in Nebraska. Thanks, Laura. Yes, everybody make sure if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. The more likes I get on these videos, the algorithm of Facebook and YouTube, they push those videos that get a lot of likes up there toward the very top of the suggested videos. So the more likes we get, the more we're likely going to be seen on people scrolling through. Maybe be able to give some at some point in time this year, maybe next year, maybe even save a life. And it doesn't cost anything by hitting a like button. So make sure you do give that thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Like the video. I would appreciate it. So as this cell is getting into Cass County, closer to Harrisonville, it is strengthening a little bit. It is now, let's see here. It does have possibility of seeing some small pea-sized hail, 3/4 of an inch. It is spinning just a little bit. Of course, every thunderstorm producing hail, it has to have a little bit of rotation in that thunderstorm in order that updraft to push that hail up to the top of the clouds to get another layer of ice on it. So you have to have a strong updraft with these thunderstorms. So it is maybe trying to cycle just a little bit. We were talking about earlier how these thunderstorms are kind of pulsing. They're getting a little stronger and then they weaken. They get a little stronger, then they weaken. So it is strengthening just a little bit as it's coming into Cass County right now. We'll see what happens on this next update here as the sweep comes across. Melissa, talk about how strong the straight line winds. Well, the straight line winds that be coming in late tonight, say like around a 3-4 a.m. time frame, we have that potential for 60-70 mile per hour straight line winds. Maybe even just a little bit higher than that if this line actually forms a bow echo on what some of the data is suggesting. A bow echo coming through west central Missouri, we could get 70 to 80 mile per hour wind. But that's going to be the biggest threat from those storms that come in later on in the morning. Let's take a little cross section of this storm here. We got a little bit of the, maybe a little bit larger hail showing up here at the 22 to 25,000 mark. That's where you see these little red lines up here. So might be seeing some. We might be seeing some hailstones falling down around Lake Annette, Freeman. might be prepared to see some small hail. Right now doesn't look severe. Let's take a look here at well, actually just west of Freeman. There's a good hail core right there. So I would not be surprised if this becomes, at least for a short term, becomes severe warned for Cass County. That is a pretty healthy. Matt Wareham. Holy cow, brother. Thank you so much for that donation. That's awesome. Thank you for that super chat. Matt has always been such a huge supporter of Subby's Weather Talk for the last 3-4 years. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Matt. And again, I would not be surprised to see this go severe warned. Let's wait for the next. Let's wait for the next. There it is, right there. Yeah, it's still. I still think we're seeing close to quarter-size hail. Okay, there it is. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County. And again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County. We'll have, as soon as they actually officially come out with it, right there, we'll read it together. So Cass County, Central Cass County, and West Central Johnson County in West Central Missouri until 11 o'clock. A severe thunderstorm was located over Freeman or near Peculiar, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour winds, and quarter-size hail. Kingsville, East Lynn, Holden, Gun City, Lake Annette, Freeman, Harrisonville, Strasburg, and Peculiar are in the path of this storm. That's going to be for this one right here. So we are seeing that pulsing, so to speak, and we'll continue to see if it continues to strengthen or if it will lose its intensity as it moves across Cass County. But for right now, quarter-size hail is possible. Freeman, Prettyman, Harrisonville, Peculiar, Lake Annette, it is just past you just about. And it's coming up here to the airport. So as you see here along the bottom scroll is you see it highlighted in red. So we've got Johnson County and Cass County underneath that severe thunderstorm warning. So if it retains its intensity, Kingsville, Holden, Gun City, East Lynn, Fenwick, you guys are going to be in a path of this here over the next probably 45 minutes. It is moving east at 29. Let's go ahead and put a timestamp on that. So Harrisonville, of course, it's right now Eastland at 10:39, Strasburg at 10:49, Kingsville at 10:58. So that's assuming that it's going to retain the same strength and the same speed. So about 11 o'clock for Kingsville if it continues the same path. Hi, Matt. Will there be hail in Warsaw? That's what we're waiting on, buddy. We're going to wait and see how this line reacts. As I had mentioned before, this line has not been very impressive. However, once it crosses the state line, it has a little bit better ingredients on the other side of the state line on the Missouri side. So, we're just going to have to wait and see what the rest of this line along the leading edge of that front as it crosses into Missouri. We're going to be watching it. We've seen this cell up here grow in intensity and is now a severe thunderstorm warning for Cass and Johnson County. So it's kind of a wait and see game right now. We're under a very capped environment. And that's the reason why these cells out here in eastern Kansas just cannot get rooted into the atmosphere. They get stronger for a while, then they collapse. They get stronger and collapse. So right now they're just continuing to collapse here over the last 45 minutes or so. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Our biggest issue, I think, is going to be coming in overnight, right around the 3 a.m. time frame. We could get a cluster of thunderstorms move up from the southwest and produce some strong straight line winds early in the morning. And again, Matt Wareham, thank you so much for your support, buddy. Always count on you. I do appreciate that. Take a look at this little hail core here. So it looked like we do have some hail signatures up there close to the 25,000 feet. And that is going to be right along Peculiar Drive. I know exactly where that is. That is actually going to be just northwest of Cass Regional Medical Center, right along Peculiar Drive. And that's where we're picking up some pretty good size hail up to 25,000 feet. So pretty strong storm still right here in Cass County. We have another little cell down here closer to the Bates County line. Be keeping an eye on that one as well. And again, as this little line comes across the state line, once this little row of cumulus clouds come across the state line, they come over into a little bit better environment. So we'll be watching these to see if they might intensify a little bit. Lightning's really picked up and it started raining at Harrisonville. Currently headed south on 49, trying to get home to Adrian. Be careful, Jackie. Hopefully you are not driving and texting that at the same time. That would be almost as bad as you guys showing up at 2 a.m. to my live stream and I'm conked out here on the table. Hi, Heather. So just west of Harrisonville. Luckily, looks like Jackie said she was on 49. She's heading south on 49 right now. So luckily she is on 49 right now. She's going to escape the hail core. Looks like that one cell we was watching is now linked up to that same one in Harrisonville. You notice how it was kind of isolated and they merged into one. And that's what I'll be watching if the line continues to merge against each other as it crosses the state line. Let's, I'm going to switch up the cameras. Let's look on the north camera. This is actually Dayton looking north at that Harrisonville store from one of the sky cams. Yeah, Alan, it is just to your west. It's going to start raining here probably in about 5 minutes. And maybe even some hail. It is just to your west of Harrisonville proper. So, report a quarter-size hail between Peculiar and Harrisonville, including on I-49. So, we've got 49. So yeah, that's right here. This is where the hail core is, right here, right along Interstate 49. Oh no, Jackie. Jackie said that I've kept on talking about snacks all night. She had to stop by Sonic in Harrisonville to grab some snacks. Oh no, she's going to be... You better hurry up, Jackie. You're going to be caught right in the middle of that hailstorm. Hi, Bryce. No, the tornado threat for West Central Missouri tonight, very, very, very low. I can't say it's not zero. I can't say it is zero, but it's very, very low. I think our primary threat is going to be hail, and then overnight in the 3-4 a.m. time frame, I think our biggest threat is going to be strong straight line winds, when we're going to see a cluster of thunderstorms associated with the low pressure system. See, the low pressure system down here in Oklahoma, as it begins to push up, it's going to push a cluster of thunderstorms into west central Missouri really early in the morning, 3, maybe 4 a.m. And we have a chance to see some strong straight line winds at that time. So looks like we've got a bunch of people in the live streams tonight. So it does look like we're having a hard time on one of our Facebook accounts. You bet, Donna. So it looks like the Subbies West Central Missouri advisory page is not working tonight for whatever reason. Looks like we actually have this is still pulsating as it's coming into Harrisonville. We have possible up to 2-inch hail with this cell as it's coming into Harrisonville. Going right over Cass Regional Medical Center. Is where the hail core is currently. Right along East Rockhaven Road. Looks like Barry or Betty is talking about hail in Harrisonville now. Alan saying it's starting to rain in Harrisonville. So depending on where you are at in the city, looks like this is going to be on the west side of Harrisonville. And again, right over Cass Regional Medical Building on Rockhaven is where the hail core is right now. Hi, Amos. You just moved to Harrisonville last August, raining pretty hard on the square. No hail yet. Okay. So, Amos is there on the square downtown. There is City Hall. There's the courthouse. So, look like the hail right now is just to your west there, Amos. Hail at the Love truck stop. All right, you could be getting a little bit of hail right now, Amos. Looks like it's going right over downtown Harrisonville right now. Kind of expanding in size as well. It's coming across Harrisonville City Park, Lake Luna, just west of Twin Pines Country Club. Looks like ping pong ball size hail is likely, according to the National Weather Service. Starting to hail now. Okay. Let us know if you're able to do it safely, Amos. Let us know about how big you're experiencing the hail, and I'll send that report to the National Weather Service. So, even though there are fewer storms, we are seeing a little bit of intensification of the thunderstorms as they cross the line. So, I'm also kind of keeping a pretty close eye up there toward the Harrisonville way. And, you know, it is rather broad rotation. But I am going to take a little bit better look at our I do want to take a little bit better look on this. When the lightning strikes, you can see the base of the thunderstorm. And I do want to kind of keep a close eye on that, even though it is very broad rotation. It is a strong thunderstorm. We do have a little bit of inflow here. Warm moist air being pumped into that. So just making sure we're not going to see any strengthening of this storm as it's coming across Cass County. And I've blowed up the picture of our sky cam. You can actually see some storm structure when the lightning strikes. You can actually see some storm structure from that supercell that's creating this hail. And I'm looking for any type of lowering on the base of that cloud. And it's really tough at night because you're pretty much dependent on a lightning strike for that to show up. Okay, so now we got up to golf ball size hail just northeast of Harrisonville. Golf ball size hail. I am looking at a couple different radar software programs that we have available here. And again, I'm just making sure there is some rotation with this cell. And I am just making sure this cell is not intensifying, as we are starting to see a little bit of rotation with this cell, but it almost has to have updraft and rotation to create golf ball size hail. But it continues to increase in intensity, so I'm keeping a very close eye on this as it heads over toward East Lynn and Wingate and Gun City. You guys are kind of the next ones in line. I am going to go ahead and kind of shrink this back down for you guys. But I have this up on a 50-inch TV is what I've got that camera on right now. I'm keeping a very close eye, and again, on that potential for any intensification of this cell. So I am picking up a little bit of inflow into this storm. 1.50 ping pong ball size hail, 60 mile per hour winds. No hail in Belton. Thank you, Clara. Appreciate that. Yes, it does look like you guys are in a clear right now, Clara. The only problem that we have is we're so close to the radar site in Pleasant Hill. Right here is the radar site. It's so close that the beam goes out, and it's too close to be able to pick up a good velocity radar image, being so close to the radar. But we do have some rotation, and it looks like it's right here, right at the hail core. And of course, as I mentioned, you have to have that rotation, those strong updrafts, to produce ping pong ball size hail. But you're also very curious to see if there's an inflow notch, to see if this is going to strengthen, maybe produce a wall cloud. And that's what I'm looking at the live Skycam right now. I've got a good view of the base clouds right now, looking for possibly any lowering on that base. And we'll follow that as this continues to intensify up in Cass County. When am I going to be in Panama City? I don't know, but I'll be ready to go. If you can find a pack-all bag big enough to fit my my fat butt in it, I'll go wherever you want me to go. That sounds like fun time. Oh, Jackie made it back with her snacks. No hail. Good job, Jackie. That was funny. All that talk about snacks made her stop by Sonic and get some. Almost got into the hail core. Oh, Jackie. So we do have another cell down here coming into Amaret, and I'm keeping a close eye on that as well for any intensification. Looks like it's starting to kind of get a little bit larger, maybe a little bit more intense. But by far the strongest cell we have is up here in Cass County right now. We've got some, maybe even some strong straight line winds right now. Right around 50. You guys can't see that because I'm in the but it's actually around 50 mile per hour winds in East Lynn. We do have 1.5-inch hail. That's almost ping pong ball. Public report coming in. Very strong cell we have in Cass County right now. And of course, looks like it's taking aim on Strasburg, Kingsville, Holden, and East Lynn and Gun City. You guys are the next ones in line for this. I am keeping a very close eye on this cell with our Skycam. You can really see the structure, almost like a mothership structure, when you see the lightning strike. So very impressive supercell up here in Cass County right now. He doesn't have the beacon. Okay, Catherine. You bet, Rhonda. Okay, so he's there at Leeton 2 and 13. Yep, I know where that is. So Kevin Short, a storm spotter, he is set up right here on 13. Kevin is set up right here at the corner of 2 and 13 highway. So if he's going to intercept, hopefully he's not intercepting this storm, because he's going to have to go way north to catch this one. Unless you're kind of waiting on these cells down here. So we are seeing a couple strengthening storms coming into Bates County. So we have one just west of Archie right now. Moving northeast at 43 miles per hour. It is spinning a little bit right now, meaning that this could intensify into a hailer. So if you live in Archie, kind of in between Adrian and Archie, you can be preparing now for the possibility of seeing some hail here within the next 20-25 minutes maybe. And then we also have a little bit larger storm down around Amoret, and it's also moving 33 miles per hour to the east-northeast. Let's go ahead and put a timestamp on that one. So if it continues the same track, Butler at 11:07, Passaic at 11:09, Altona at 11:23. If it continues the same path and the same speed. So that gives you a little bit of warning time if you live in a Butler area. For that's moving just a little bit faster. So Crescent Hill 10:55, Archie at 10:55, here in about 6 minutes for Archie, and Austin at 10:59. So we'll be watching these two, and likely what's going to happen is we're going to see a couple more cells develop down here. We're going to see these two do a cell merger. And then eventually these two will link up with this parent storm to develop kind of a little line of storms that will move into the rest of West Central Missouri here over the next hour and a half or so. But we'll just kind of have to see how this line progresses here over the next few minutes. And again, we talked about this let's see, we've been live for about an hour and 50 minutes now. And we talked about this before, that we want to wait till that line comes across the state line. A little bit better ingredients on this side of the state than back in Kansas. We have a little bit more what's called CAPE, and that stands for convective available energy, that these storms actually have to be able to develop. So it was kind of a waiting game, and we're still in that waiting game to see how this line of storms is going to react. So we've got a bunch of hail reports coming in right now. Looks like they're coming in from Harrisonville. 1 inch, 1 1/4, 1 inch, 1 inch, all from Harrisonville. So quarter-size hail reported several locations in Harrisonville. That's probably what I am looking at, Catherine. Because that's what we're looking at here on the cam. And I bet I know exactly what he's looking at right now, because that's what I'm looking at right now. And there is a little bit of a lowering. And it's on the left-hand side of the screen. If you see my cursor, it is right in this area. If you see my little yellow cursor moving on the video, there is a little bit of a lowering right there that would put that right around probably toward Holden. You're looking toward Holden from this camera. So we are actually probably looking right here. There is a little bit of an inflow notch right here, just northwest of Gun City. So there could be a little bit of rotating wall cloud lowering that we're looking at right here, even though it's likely not going to be getting close to the ground, only because this cell right now is still highly elevated. It's not a surface-based storm. They're still highly elevated. But it's definitely something we need to keep a very close eye on here. And Kevin is actually looking at this as well and he is looking from a standpoint of down here at Leeton. Kevin is right here. Kevin is right here, and he is looking straight here at the same lowering that we are looking at right now on the Skycam. So we'll keep a very close eye on that. National Weather Service hadn't said anything about this yet, but it's definitely something we're looking very closely, paying attention to. Hi, Amanda. No, it's going to be a while before Benton County gets into any action. I don't know if you guys can see this when it lightning flashes. I'm not sure how it looks on your phone or your tablet, computer. But this is the little area that I am watching, that I am circling. Hopefully you guys can see that at home on your TV. But wait for a lightning flash and look right up here where my cursor is at. And you see just a little bit of a lowering. So that's what I'm kind of focused on. I'm going to zoom it back out again. Right in there. So it looks like that inflow notch. It doesn't fit the bill for a classic supercell.
Three vehicles and tire fairing so far. Park closes at 11. If you want to come assist,
Typically, you would be looking at this area on the bottom side of the hail core. It's typically where you would be looking for like a little inflow notch. So, you know, it's really tough at night, especially since we're looking at a black and white infrared camera. It's really tough. From a storm structure standpoint on radar, it really doesn't fit that classic, you know, if we were really looking for the possibility of a wall cloud or maybe a funnel cloud, it typically would be down in this area, not up here next to the hail core most of the time. But we're still keeping a close eye on this cell because it's still packing a big punch right now. And so, yeah, we'll definitely need to continue to keep a close eye on that. Take a look at these cells down here. So you notice how this is starting to kind of elongate. And eventually, I think these two cells will likely merge. And then we'll have to wait and see if we get any hailers out of this, since it is moving into a little bit better area for that threat to see some quarter size, maybe golf ball size hail. I'm going to put this in play over the last few frames. Yeah, you kind of see how they're kind of merging together. So this is still just on the west side of 49. And of course, Adrian, Passaic, Butler, you guys are going to be under the line of fire here over probably about the next 15-20 minutes. So I'd say probably also this cell here, because it is retaining its intensity. Okay, never mind. Because it's retaining its intensity, Johnson County will likely be included. And they've just been included in this severe thunderstorm warning. It is going to be for Cass and Johnson County. It does include the town of Warrensburg, Centerview, and Holden here in west central Missouri. So, as you notice down at the bottom of your screen, we have a new red alert. And that means there is a new warning out there, and that is for this severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go ahead and read. Severe thunderstorm warning for east central Cass County, northwestern Johnson County, and west central Missouri. Severe thunderstorm located near Kingsville, 7 miles west of Holden, moving east at 30. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. So Kingsville, Warrensburg, Fayetteville, Holden, Gun City, Centerview, and Strasburg are all in the line of fire of this severe thunderstorm warning. Hi, Suzanne. Much action for Clinton and Henry County. What's the chance of tornadoes in Windsor, Clinton area tonight? So, and again, guys, so we've been talking about this most of the night. We were waiting on this line of thunderstorms to come across the state line. They are intensifying a little bit. The strongest cell by far is up here in Cass and Johnson County. We are watching this line starting to kind of merge together in parts of Bates County. And we'll be watching that as it continues to move off to the east and to the north. So right now, the biggest threat is going to be hail to the size of ping pong balls. And maybe a wind gust up to 60 miles per hour. But the biggest threat is going to be for large hail with this line. Now, after this line moves through, we're going to have another cluster of thunderstorms around 3 a.m. that could provide the focus for some strong straight line winds, 60, 70 miles per hour. So we are going to be watching for that here. Let's see, it's 11 o'clock. So we're still 3-4 hours away from that event. So kind of a long night here.
Hey, did you make it on CNET?
10:30. I'm on scene speaking with some people that don't do her. Removing them off of Harrington Park. That way you can meet others at the school.
So it looked like mainly around 35 to 46 mile per hour winds just west of Holden. Some of these might not completely be making it all the way down to the ground, but it's very, very close to the radar site. So that means that as the beam goes out of the radar, it doesn't go very far before it hits that storm. So it's pretty low to the surface. Now, as it continues to go out further, because the Earth is round, and I'm sorry for those of you that think the Earth is flat, the Earth is round, so the further that beam continues to go, the higher up in elevation it goes above our heads. So with this being very close to the surface, I'm going to say probably somewhere right around 40, 45 mile an hour winds is probably what you're feeling down here. And again, just on the coming through Kingsville, just on the west side of Holden right now. And again, this is just one big massive hail core is what this is setting up with right now. That's still about 3 or 4 frames behind. Let's take a look at the 3D shot. Oh yeah, that's impressive. So yeah, we have several different layers that is producing hail right now. So the biggest hail looks like it's going to be the biggest in size is going to be right up here just north of Gun City right now. That's going to be associated with this part right here. Very low to the surface, very large hail. So there's a strong likelihood it's actually hitting the ground at least quarter size near Gun City, just north of Gun City. Brandon. Well, if it's round, why don't the planes have to constantly adjust their altitude? Oh, gosh. Brandon. Oh, goodness. All right, so we have a non-severe, strong thunderstorm that is going to be crossing 7 Highway near Garden City here in the next probably 5 to 8 minutes.
A 16-year-old female, basic cardiac monitor was needed ID. They weren't able to get one.
We also have another non-severe strong storm down here just to the west of Butler. And this line extends from Garden City southeast all the way down through Adrian, almost to Passaic, and just west of Butler. So again, maybe some small pea-sized hail for Passaic, maybe Butler, Adrian. but for the most part, not even seeing much lightning with this either. So mainly just some heavy rain producers so far. So we'll keep an eye on these cells to see if they strengthen any here over the next few minutes. You know, I always wonder too, Brandon, you know, if an airplane crashes, they always look and search for that little black box. They always find it, and it's unscathed. It's in perfect condition. Well, why don't they just make the whole airplane out of that same material? You wouldn't have to worry about airplane crash, would you? Oh, yeah. You're making my head hurt. So we're going to be watching. So we have heavy pea-sized hail covering the ground in Kingsville. And we had a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust recorded in Kingsville. So it is still packing a punch. 60-mile-per-hour winds and some small hail in Kingsville. So, Brandon, we are watching this line of storm to see if it's going to strengthen any as it continues to march east. Our big concern is, and it's already starting to show up, a bunch of thunderstorms down here in Oklahoma. Now, we're going to take a quick look here at the model, the new model. Let's see if it changed any. So, here's our thunderstorms that we have ongoing right now. Right up here is going to be your time. That's 11 o'clock. And the short-term model is showing that as we go through the evening into the early morning hours, all those thunderstorms down in Oklahoma are going to be coming up into west central Missouri. Now, this is where I think we're going to stand our best chance to see severe thunderstorms, if we are going to get any, because there is a potential we could see a little bit of a bow echo, and we could get some strong straight line winds. But take a look at what time that is, 4 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to have quite a little time lapse in there in between these lines of storms. Hey, there's my buddy Mark. Mark Harden. That is actually our Director of Emergency Management for Henry County, and he is my he is my boss. So I got to be really nice to him. Thanks, Mark. What is the moisture looking like? I'm assuming, Matt, you're talking about total rainfall. So total rainfall has not really changed much. Half to an inch of rain on average here in west central Missouri is kind of what these thunderstorms are going to produce. Now, if, you know, say Kingsville, they get a quick 3/10 of an inch and then get another 3/4 of an inch overnight with that big cluster, you know, they could end up somewhere around 1.5 inches or so. So, but really half to an inch is going to be about average here in west central Missouri. Nope, Brandon, I'm going to be here all night, buddy. I'm going to be here all night. I haven't even drank a cup of coffee yet. I'm going to have to take a break. We've been live streaming now for 2 hours and 5 minutes. So I am going to have to take a break and grab me some coffee here in a little bit. But I'm going to be taking a few breaks, especially once this line moves past. But I'm going to have radar up. We're going to have the cameras up. And we're going to be watching this throughout the duration. And then I'll probably take a little bit of a break and then come back on when these storms get a little closer. We had another 60-mile-per-hour gust just showed up here on Storm Report and just on the south side of Kingsville. 60-mile-per-hour winds, amateur radio with pea-size hail.
50 now.
Oh, dew points. I'm sorry. Dew points are right around the 60-degree mark. And you notice that's kind of come up over the last hour. And that's also kind of adding a little bit of fuel to the fire a little bit. But take a look over here at Olathe and Gardner, Kansas. They're in the 40s. So, we're still expecting to be hovering Kansas City at 52. But by the time this cluster of thunderstorms finally makes its way up here to west central Missouri, associated with the main low that is going to be ejecting out, that's when we're expecting to get that big cluster of thunderstorms in overnight. Oh, thanks for the kind words there, Chantel. I appreciate that. I hope your migraine gets better. You're probably going to have to continue to take some Tylenol over the next, let's see here, probably through Sunday night. And then we have another big storm system coming in Wednesday that is actually going to put a lot of pressure on our bodies as well with that low pressure system. So make sure to take proactive steps. Let's see here. Davis probably around, I'm guessing that little line is probably going to hit Henry County probably sometime around 12:30, 12:45. And then we're in that waiting game until that big cluster of thunderstorms comes up. And again, the biggest cell that we have right now here in west central Missouri looks like just east of Holden. I'm sorry, just east of Kingsville, getting ready to come into Holden. Holden, you're on the south side of that cell. And then, of course, it's going to continue to move over to Centerview along 50 Highway. And then eventually, probably the north side of Warrensburg. Probably here, let's just go ahead and put after this update, let's put a timestamp on Warrensburg. Centerview at 11:24. Let's try that again. Warrensburg at 11:37. Centerview at 11:25. Warrensburg at 11:37. So about about 20 minutes until Warrensburg. Still looking like it's strengthening a little bit as far as the hail core goes. Yeah, a very large hail core. Where you see the gray is where you can likely see quarter-size hail. So that's going to be coming into Holden any minute now. And so, you know, you've got about a 15-mile, 18-mile stretch of a hail core. So that's a very large hail core. Might not be quite that long. About 6 miles, I guess. So about a 6 mile wide hail core. So that will stretch all the way across Clinton about 4.5 times. And we did just get a 2-inch notification on that hail. So it is continually to get larger hail, as we had just seen. Centerview, Warrensburg, along 50 highway. If you know somebody that's going to be traveling along 50 highway, you want to make sure you give them a heads up. They do not want to be going 60 mile an hour or 70 mile an hour down 50 highway and get into ping pong ball size hail. They do not want to do that. I believe that Jordan. I can't really read your name with that font, but I think it's Jordan. Is this the main system? No, this is one of 2 events that we are going to be watching for tonight. The next one is down in Oklahoma. That'll be pushing through around 3 to 4 a.m. That could have some strong straight line winds with it. So the cell down here just east of Garden City, going across 7 Highway right now, continues to slowly pick up a little bit of intensity. And I don't know if you remember what I had talked about earlier, how those 2 cells were going to merge and then eventually merge in with the parent storm. And if you notice, that's exactly what is happening. So we put this into play over the last 21 frames. And you'll notice that those cells will begin to merge into one solid line. And so that's going to put the threat for hail over a little bit more broader area as it begins to move across west central Missouri. So we'll definitely we've got another hour or so that we need to pay close attention to this line. We could be seeing some hail on the north side of Butler. Looks like just east of the airport. We also have another hail core just east of Garden City and just east of 7 Highway now. 291st, 293rd, 299th in that area. And then, of course, down from Medford up through Holden.
Is J1, again J1. Here's the valid negative green.
So, those in Cass County, you guys are in the clear now. So, if you're in Cass County, then you're just going to be kind of a waiting game until this other cluster of storms move up from the south. And again, right now it was looking at right around the 3 a.m. time frame. No, tornado threat is very, very low, Jordan. So I'm not going to say it's zero, but it's very, very low.
Nice. So you guys want to
And again, a little bit of a hail core just north of Butler. It has already come across 49 Highway. So just kind of north and east of Butler. This is going to be on, look like 604 Road, or 6004 Road, 5004 Road, running east and west, and then north-southbound on County Road 3003. You could be picking up some small pea-sized hail and some torrential rains right now in Bates County. I hear my lightning detector going off. He must be hearing some thunder. By far the strongest cell that we have here in West Central Missouri is going to be this cell up here in Johnson County. And again, center view along 50 Highway. This is going to be from west of Warrensburg right now. Anybody traveling along 50 Highway, westbound on 50 out of Warrensburg. If you know somebody that's going to be traveling there, make sure they know that there's potential to see some large hail while they're driving. That's a very strong hail core right there. Yeah, look at that. Wow. So we do have some reflections of hail all the way up to 32,000 feet above our heads right now. If you see this little red line, just a little vapor line, all the way up to 31,000 feet. So a very strong cell is coming through Johnson County right now. Likely, definitely still putting down hail right now. Maybe to about the size of quarters, maybe even ping pong ball size in very isolated areas. Very impressive. I'm going to bring this over and show you guys where that wind shift line is. So you can actually see this right here, right along that boundary. You got wind coming from the northwest, and then you got south winds here. And that is what is aiding these thunderstorms right in this area. That's what's aiding them to continue to produce hail. They are elevated. They're not surface based, so the tornado threat is very, very low. But we're still keeping an eye on these storms. But the biggest threat is going to be, of course, the hail right now. definitely see where that wind shift line is. You got 53 in Linden, Kansas. You got 71 in Butler. So not quite a 20-degree spread. Pretty impressive. Hi, Kayla. We're talking about the actually, as far as the tornado threat, Kayla, neither this storm system, this line of storms, or the one coming in later on tonight, the tornado threat is so very small. Most of these storms, as they come into west central Missouri, they're what's called elevated. They're happening way above our heads. In order for the tornado potential to be increased any at all, they have to be more surface based. So because they're producing large hail, that storm is really rotating, but it's way up in the atmosphere. Now, when you get it rotating like that and it's surface based, is when you have to worry about tornadoes. And I'm not seeing that. The National Weather Service is not seeing that, nor the Storm Prediction Center is seeing that to be likely tonight. It's not zero, but it's very, very low. So you can kind of rest easy in that regard for the threat of any tornadoes tonight. Very, very, very low. Hi, PJ. There's Hot Rod again. That's my hail chaser, Rod Berry. I don't know, for those of you that might just be new into our room, I know we've had a lot of people come into Subby's Weather Talk today, but you definitely want to hear about the story where Hot Rod Berry decided to get a bird's eye view of a severe storm coming into Clinton, climbed up his tree in his yard, and he got hit with a hailstone right in the eye, and it blackened his eye, and it was all swelled up. Granted, I don't think he'll ever do that again. That was funny. You bet, Kayla. My pleasure. Yeah, Emily, it is. Kind of battling out for the direction, which direction they're going to go. It's what's really unique about this situation tonight is it's the cap is still there. It's eroding some, but the cap is still there. So if we didn't have a cap right now, these storms will likely be really blossoming, and we would have several severe thunderstorms in west central Missouri right now. But it's battling. They're pulsing, meaning they get strong, they are almost through, and then they weaken. And then they get strong, and then they weaken. And that's just how the entire night has been. And unfortunately, there's not any data out there. There's not any models out there that can really tell us whether or not Mother Nature is going to allow it to actually bust the cap and give us severe thunderstorms, or keep them low-grade severe, kind of like what they're doing tonight. But yeah, it's pretty impressive how this line has really intensified once it crossed the state line. We were kind of expecting that because the cap was just a little bit less strong on this side of the state, and we had more energy, and that's called CAPE, spelled C-A-P-E. It stands for Convective Available Potential Energy, and that's how much energy these storms have to work with. So I did just notice that the Storm Prediction Center put out a new mesoscale discussion. So they're going to talk about our area here, and so we're going to go ahead and see what they have to say. Oh, we have a tornado watch. Oh, I bet they messed that up. I bet they messed that up. I bet it's supposed to be down here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Well, no, they do have one. I think the storm prediction, well, they've got one right there. So let's read what it says. It says, concerning Tornado Watch 68, severe weather threat for Tornado Watch 68 continues. A severe threat is likely to continue for a few more hours across eastern Oklahoma and may spread northeastward into parts of southeastern Kansas, western Missouri, and far northwestern Arkansas. Weather Watch issuance remains possible downstream for that tornado watch. So basically what they're saying here is that right now there is a tornado watch down here in Oklahoma. There's a lot of severe thunderstorms down here in Oklahoma. Now, there have not been very many tornado warnings down here, even though where you see yellow is where you see a tornado watch. Now, they are thinking that the threat could continue for the next few hours with that bigger cluster that we have coming in like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It could be coming in, and they could extend that watch into parts of southwest and western Missouri, including a big chunk of west central Missouri here in our area. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. I don't think the tornado threat is going to be very high. They may go ahead and issue maybe a severe thunderstorm watch for our area, but definitely something that we have to kind of see how this cluster of thunderstorms down here progresses through the evening into our area. So we'll just kind of, and again, it's one of these what I call nowcasting, in which, you know, we can look at all the models, we can look at all the data. Now I do want to direct your attention. We do have trees and power line down in Holden. And again, we do have trees and power line down in Holden. So if you have family members in Holden that are possibly that are around the Holden area, you might want to call and check on them. I say this was due to a 60, maybe a 70 mile per hour wind gust. We were picking up some stronger winds right in that area. So I'm just taking a look here real quick. Yeah, probably, I'm going to tell you, probably wind speeds. Well, there is there is a potential out there that we could have had about a minute-long tornado near Holden. It's very broad, and you've got the green. Greens are going to be winds going toward the radar. Red is going to be going away from radar in Pleasant Hill. Where you see those two come together, that's rotation. But you will also get that rotation in a hail core. But there could have been, because in one frame it was gone. One frame you had strong straight line winds, and then a possible funnel cloud maybe touched the ground, went right back up. 2 minutes later, gone again. So that is a possibility, but I still think the best bet was strong straight line winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour in Holden. So again, if we talked about that, Catherine, already, about that tornado watch. So again, if anybody has any family or friends in Holden, you might want to be calling and checking on them. There's not much more information, with the exception of trees and power lines are down in Holden. That there's been reports of that coming in from ham radio operators. So definitely something we need to be watching very closely here over the next few minutes. So we did have an extension of that severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson County. And again, I'm just answering a couple questions. I've had a lot of questions I've had to answer here over the last few minutes. Looks like that looks like some of our cameras might be down as well. We'll go to a live look from Clinton, looking off to the south. So, thunderstorm wind damage in excess of 60 miles per hour in Holden. So again, if you have any family members that live in Holden, you might want to call and check on them. There are trees and power lines reported down in Holden. So the strongest part of this storm is actually coming right across the northern parts of Warrensburg right now, right along 50 highway. So it looked like we could have very easily quarter to ping pong ball size hail right along 50 highway. So Warrensburg, kind of zoom that down here just a little bit. So this is going to be, this is really, the hail core is going to be centered right in that shopping center right around Lowe's, there across from Walmart, there in Warrensburg. So they're likely really getting some hail out there, and again, coming right across Walmart Supercenter in Warrensburg right now. Oh, thanks for the kind words there, Gene. I appreciate that. So again, that is the strongest cell that we have here in west central Missouri. And again, it's been extended out to the east. And that's going to be for northwestern Pettis County, northeastern Johnson County, in west central Missouri. And again, severe thunderstorm located over Warrensburg, moving east at 30 miles per hour with quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And Holden have got reports of trees down and power lines down in the town of Holden. So this storm is packing a punch with some strong straight-line winds. So looks like Knobnoster, Lamont, right along 50 Highway, and then on up towards Houstonia, Hughesville. You guys will be under the gun here probably in the next 30, 40 minutes. Looks like the strongest part of this line of storms will stay just to the north of Sedalia proper. It'll probably stay just to the north of Sedalia, the strongest part of this cell. However, the southern flank of the line, you will likely get maybe some pea-sized hail and some gusty winds. Down a little bit further, we've got that line extending all the way down, not quite to Chehaui, down through Blairstown. You're starting to get some rain showers now, and then all the way down through look like Maysburg, and down off of just east of Ballard on 18. So that's as far as this line extends. A very, very short, narrow line of strong thunderstorms, in which the strongest is a severe warning cell over Warrensburg. Benton County. Well, we've got to wait a little bit. I don't think this line of storms is actually going to be affecting Benton County. It's going to stay just to the north of Benton County. But we are also watching this big cluster of thunderstorms down here in southern Kansas and Oklahoma. That's going to be pushing up probably here in about 3 hours or so, right around the 4 a.m. time frame. And we're going to have to watch for the potential of some severe storms in that time frame as well. And that could likely affect Benton County. So if anybody's going to be out driving, it is a quarter till midnight, but it is Saturday night. So if you have any kiddos that might be coming home from Warrensburg, anybody driving north out of Clinton on Highway 13, you might want to give them kind of a heads up that that they're going to be likely running into some rather strong storms as they get ready to cross 13 Highway, maybe some hail, and of course some blinding rains, I am sure. But like I said, if they are hail producers, I'm not seeing a lot of lightning with these storms anymore like we were seeing back when they first come across the state line. So, you know, they're not strengthening, they're just remaining consistent, if that makes any sense to you guys. So if they were gaining strength, we would see a lot more lightning strikes. But it looks like the lightning is starting to kind of let up just a little bit. And again, it's really hard for these thunderstorms to really get rooted into that atmosphere because we have that semi-cap that is going on above our heads that's keeping these thunderstorms from really blossoming into big storms. So, and that's a good thing for us. We just got to get through this little round of thunderstorms. Let's move that off to the east. and then we'll kind of have a little waiting game for this next system to come up from the south. And what I will likely do, guys, is, and again, we're having an issue with West Central Missouri advisory page on Facebook not working. So when we get this line through us and we're kind of in that waiting game, I will probably go ahead and end the live stream, reboot it back up, and see if that corrects the problem with one of our Facebook pages. We're streaming on several different platforms tonight. Radford Media Group app for your cell phones. We're streaming on KDKD Facebook site. We are doing KDKD 95.3 Radford Media Group YouTube channel. Subby's Weather Talk YouTube, Subby's Weather Talk advisory page. I mean, we're Twitch. We're streaming everywhere. So I think there was just like a little bug in there where that one stream just didn't take tonight. So once we get through this, we'll go ahead and we'll end the stream, and then I will immediately bring back a live stream and see if we can't get all of them working tonight. Tons of lightning in Warrensburg. Okay. Thanks, Margaret. That's good to know. I do see a couple lightning strikes up there in Warrensburg. You guys are likely going to be getting into some hail really quick if you haven't already. Oh, Melissa just said it's hailing in Warrensburg. Actually, the tail end of that cell, of this line, is just to the east of Ballard. So you're okay right now until the rest of that secondary system comes up from the south, probably around 3 a.m. in Ballard. Rain and hail. Thanks, Christina. Charlie, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, the tornado threat, and I do know what they had mentioned, that there is a chance that here in the next hour or two that they may put our area in West Central Missouri under a tornado or a severe thunderstorm watch. We've got some pretty intense storms down here in Oklahoma. However, I have not seen hardly any tornado warnings. So that's a good thing, because the best potential to see any tornadoes tonight was down here in Oklahoma. That's why they're under a severe thunderstorm watch. So I would say that if we're going to get some severe weather, it's likely going to be strong straight line winds. We could be placed under a severe thunderstorm watch later on tonight for that secondary cluster of thunderstorms to move into our area. But the tornado threat is really, really low for us here in West Central Missouri. It's not zero. There's that possibility when you're dealing with the ingredients that we're dealing with. It's still kind of muggy outside. Our temperatures are still good. They're near 70 degrees, I believe, right now. Take a look at temperatures. Yeah, we're still sitting at 72, 73 degrees. And actually, that temperature has come up a little bit. So we're getting those real stiff south winds that's bringing in more moisture and a little bit more heat. And that's going to kind of help fire these thunderstorms. So, I'm going to be here for the night with you guys. I've already made a plan of that. I have not had one cup of coffee yet. And now my coffee's probably cold. It probably automatically shut off. So once we get this storm out of our neck of the woods, I'm going to go make another pot of coffee, restart the stream, and then we'll be ready for round two. Randy, I say you're on Facebook, on KDKD Facebook site. you're probably not on West Central Missouri advisory page. It's showing that stream is down. No, nobody is under a tornado watch. We're not even under any kind of watch right now, Brent. But the Storm Prediction Center had talked about the possibility of extending this tornado watch up into western Missouri. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. I'd say it's probably more going to be in the line of a severe thunderstorm watch. The reason why I say that is because they had the best ingredients down here in Oklahoma for tornadoes, and I didn't see any tornadoes down here. So I'm going to say we still have the potential for hail and for strong straight line winds, but the tornado threat's still going to remain really low tonight. We did get another report, let's see here, in Centerview, 63 miles per hour wind speed, and that was in Centerview. Pea-size hail, south 13. Thanks, Ellen. South of 13, pea-size hail. So again, anybody traveling on 13, 13 north out of Clinton, just remember you're going to be getting into some pretty strong storms, likely pea-size hail as you head into Warrensburg. And it does look like it has weakened somewhat. The hail signature is not as impressive as what it was 15 minutes ago. You notice we don't see any grays here anymore. So that's telling me we're getting down to, pea dime size hail is what this storm is producing right now. So it could be that phasing, weakening, getting stronger, weakening, getting a little stronger. But we're definitely looking like it is on the weakening side right now. So that's good news. So Chehaui, you guys are getting, looks like you guys getting some moderate to heavy rains right now. Old Chehaui, all the way down to Norris along O Highway, N Highway, and that extends down to just south of Uri. So really with this line of storms right now, looks like it's just going to clip the northern half of Henry County. I'm not expecting Clinton will likely get anything out of this first round, but I'm pretty confident that we are going to see some more thunderstorms as we get closer to the 3-4 o'clock time frame. And just noticing there's a school bus going down Ohio Street right now at midnight. So I don't know if there was a team that was possibly here in Clinton that was maybe a baseball game. But kind of late, midnight, heading toward the high school, looks like. Hey, you bet, Brent. I'll be here with you, buddy. Like I said, once we get this little line and get it moved off to the east, then I'm going to end the stream, figure out what's the matter with one of my Facebook streams on the advisory page, and I'm immediately going to start another stream to get all of them going again. And then I'll probably take a little break. We'll keep radar up. If you guys are really nice to me, I might even put a little jazzy music on in the background. But I'm going to take a little break, grab me something to eat, get me another drink, put on a pot of coffee. we'll have a little bit of time before this next round comes up. So we do have a couple storm report damages here coming in. Several tree limbs down at a residence in Holden. Trees and power lines down in Holden. So we are getting a little bit of damage reports in from these strong straight line winds. So, you know, I am very glad we're doing this. Weather radios are not working tonight. So, and we're past that 10:30 time frame when all the local news are done. And sometimes people, they just don't know where to go for local weather. So I am glad that we are here. Luckily, we hadn't seen too rough of a night so far with thunderstorms. But again, we still have round number 2 coming in around 3 a.m. or so. Oh, your cats are running all over. So I'm gonna switch radars here real quick, guys. I'm gonna go with kind of a nationwide. Okay, you guys see all this down here. This is what's going to be progressing up into west central Missouri around 3 a.m. So that's our round 2 that is going to be moving up in our direction. It's going to be moving in just like that. So the low pressure system that's associated with it is sitting down right here in Oklahoma right now. So we're going to have, it's going to be ejecting toward Missouri and bringing that glob of thunderstorms our direction. So that is our round 2 for tonight. Probably around, or this morning. Not quite morning yet. I've got 2 minutes before it's morning. We've been on here almost 3 hours so far tonight. See if we can see where that low pressure system is. Oh yeah, you can see that real good. I'll just kind of show you guys here. So, I've already showed you guys where that wind shift line is. You see how there's the wind shift line right now. See how these winds are coming out of the northwest? And these are coming up from the south. That's what's firing up this line of thunderstorms we're dealing with now. Okay, now let's go down here to Oklahoma. You see where that low pressure system is? Right there. Now, low pressure, the winds around the low pressure go counterclockwise. So you're actually kind of seeing them do this number. Okay? So they always go counterclockwise around the low pressure system. And that is actually going to be moving up this direction tonight, and it's going to bring with that, it's going to spin in all of those thunderstorms that Oklahoma is having. So, you know, the best, when you look at maps like this, just kind of a little piece of education, I guess, the air is like a fluid. I always think of the air around us as water. And if you think that, a lot of things actually start to make sense a little bit. You know, you think of a river, and you think sometimes on a bend of a river, there's like a little eddy right there. You know, well, that's like a little storm system. And that's what we've got right here. We've got like a little eddy that is sitting there that is going to be dragging in all that trash and driftwood into our area about 3 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, we can go, you know, sometimes to kind of see the whole picture, I like to do, I kind of like to do a 3D look where Let's go to, you know, kind of like a 3D representation of what's going on. I'm going to switch screens like this. This is what I do. We're just trying to kill just a little bit of time here. But this is what I like to do when I'm down at the Weather Center during the day in the morning. I look at the 500 millibar chart. That's at 18,000 feet above our heads, see where the storms are going. And I like to go to this screen because I can see our storm systems that's going to be affecting us next Wednesday clear around the globe. So if you think of the air around us as liquid, it makes a lot of sense what direction that these storms are going, where the jet stream, that river of air is going. So this is actually all part of the forecasting process that I go through every morning to determine what we're going to get here in West Central Missouri. Because, you know, we are just a small dot in Missouri compared to the overall global weather pattern and the climates of the world. So really fascinating stuff. So okay, I geeked out on you guys enough with my weather stuff. Let's move on. So again, that is what's going to be coming up toward us at 3 a.m. that we'll be watching for. We'll go ahead and go back here locally, take a look at this storm up here. And again, Knob Noster, Whiteman Air Force Base, Lamont, Shustonia, Hughesville. This line is going to be approaching you. Looks like Leeton. You guys are going to be on that southern edge of this line. You're going to get maybe some small pea-sized hail, some torrential rains. It won't last very long. But again, I'm not seeing a whole lot of lightning on the southern end of this storm, but starting to see a few more lightning strikes up here on the northern part of this storm. So it could be kind of cycling again. So, you know, wouldn't surprise me as this storm continues to push off to the east, it will maybe re-intensify again and drop some more larger hail once it gets down here off of I-70 near Blackwater over into Columbia. But this cell started way over here on the Kansas state line and has slowly progressed all the way over into eastern Johnson County. So again, if you guys have any friends or family in Holden, you might call and check on them. There are just several reports of downed trees and power lines, so you might call and check on them if you have some friends or family around the Holden area. Now, one thing we also kind of keep in mind is, you know, you take a look at, say, Warrensburg, they're down to like 61 degrees, 63 in Harrisville, 62 in Lee Summit. But if you go down here just to the southeast a little bit where we have not received any rainfall or storms, and you're looking at 70 degrees in Clinton, which I still think that's a little low. Let me go to my station. Nope, it's spot on, 70 degrees. So, we've got, looked like, well, we got 72.7 degrees. It is rising. Dew point of 60.7 degrees. 60.7 degree dew point. 66% humidity here in Clinton right now off of my weather station at Radford Media Group down at Baumgard Weather Center. So, you know, this area down in here is still kind of juicy. We hadn't gotten any storms, so as these storms come up from Oklahoma, there's a little bit more fuel to the fire on these storms. So again, that's one of the reasons why we're we need to stay weather aware, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be staying live through the course of the night, because of that threat of storms coming in late. Thunder in Warsaw. You are picking up some of that thunder from up here, this cell all the way up here near Warrensburg. Let's take a look real quick. We got a minute. So, okay, see, you know, we start to see all these lightning strikes. We kind of talked about maybe this storm is starting to intensify just a little bit, kind of cycle. Now you start to see the baby blues on here. That's larger hail. Let's take a look at vertically integrated liquid radar. What this does is measure the sizes of the particles in the sky. So, you know, it can detect heavy rain, big raindrops. It can detect really large hailstones as well. So it's a great useful radar. And notice now we're starting to get some of those oranges back. So after orange, it goes to gray. And gray is when you start to get up to quarter size hail again, or larger. So right now, it's all the way up just north of Knob Noster, probably nickel size hail is probably what has fallen there just north of Knob Noster. So it very well could be cycling back again. And of course, that will be crossing over into Pettis County. And I think the worst part of this cell is going to stay just to the north of Sedalia proper.
8 Sam John, 23600, 8 Sam John, George 00.
And again, when I go to take a break, you can always, I'm going to leave radar up, and right down at the bottom here, the scroll, that is going to be updated. Any watches, warnings, advisories, anything, it's going to automatically update for us. So this is also another one of our software packages we were able to get because of the generosity of the members here at Subby's Weather Talk through our fundraising drive. It's a great addition. I utilize that on my overnight feeds as well when we're expecting, say, winter weather or, severe weather. I'm typically always live. But during winter time, winter storms, I like to have an overnight forecast and utilize that ticker down at the bottom for my overnight streams as well. I do appreciate you guys being live with me now for 3 hours and 5 minutes. It is now 10 minutes after midnight. We're still tracking this strong cell up here in Johnson County, getting ready to move over to Pettis. Maybe up to 1/4 inch hail. So far, the biggest winner tonight in the hail category has been Harrisonville, where they've had 1.5 inch hail reported in Harrisonville from this same cell. It come across Belton, Raymore, Harrisonville, hit Holden with some strong straight line winds. We got some power lines down, probably power outages. as well. Take a look, see if they do have any power outages. We can go to subbiesweathertalk.com. And of course, you have interactive radar right there on the web page or on your phone. You can scroll down and you have all of the different radars that you can look at. Over 50 different radars that you guys can, you guys have the opportunity to take full advantage of right there on Subby's Weather Talk. It also has like weather warnings. You click on that and it's going to show you where that warning is. It's fully interactive. You can zoom out, zoom in, do whatever you would like. So great tool. Also under winter weather information, we have all of the power companies: Como, Osage Valley, Evergy, Sac Osage, and you can go to, say, Osage Valley, and let's see here, no power outages, at least through Osage Valley, so that's good news. Let's try Evergy. Evergy does have some power outages. They have 691 people without power right now. 187 looks like in Warrensburg. And 425 people out in Holden. So, looked like it is encompassing really the entire north side of Holden and extends way out.
And I do kind of see that they're waiting for Rye.
So that's where our power outages are at right now, and that's where they had at least 60-mile-an-hour wind, power lines down, and trees down in Holden. And it looks like Warrensburg, looked like they had a little bit of wind as well with some power outages. But you can find all that information right here on subbiesweathertalk.com. And there's all kinds of cool stuff. The Black and Blue, Bates County Sheriff's Department, great guy. They have a kind of a side business. Tyler over there, they can get you fixed up with any subby swag that you guys want. We've got sweatshirt, t-shirts, we got mugs, we got really cool hats. Show you what the hats look like here. That's what Subby's Weather Talk hats look like. You can get them fitted. They're Richardson hats. So you go right there on Subby's Weather Talk. You can grab some Subby swag. I am going to start a contest next month. And pretty excited about it. If I see you out and about in public with Subby swag on, I'm keeping a stack of gift cards in my wallet. And if I see you wearing, say, a Subby's Weather Talk t-shirt, I'm going to come up, introduce myself, and I'm going to ask you a weather question. If you get it right, you're going to win a gift certificate. So, and I go everywhere. I mean, I'm in Warrensburg, Sedalia, I'm in Butler, I'm in Clinton, I'm everywhere. So, kind of a fun thing we're going to do. And so make sure you get on there and get you a Subby's Weather Talk t-shirt or a hat. So we have about another 15 minutes left with the severe thunderstorm warning. Looked like it's right over Knob Noster and Highway 50 right now. Some of these storms are kind of coming pretty quickly across here, ain't they? I might not have too long of a break, but there are a few little isolated thunderstorms, little thunder showers you see kind of popping up. Hey, there's Misty. Yeah, we hadn't gotten any here in Clinton either. But I'd say we're going to get some later on. One thing I want to do here real quick, I'm going to go to a nationwide radar. I want to put this in motion. I was looking at some of this development down here in southeast Kansas. Doesn't look like it's growing in intensity any at all. This is what's going to be our concern, I think, is going to be this line right here. There's the potential for it to kind of bow out as it continues to move off to the northeast and maybe give us a chance for those strong straight line winds, like I said, right around the 3 a.m. time frame. And I say that, and there was a severe thunderstorm warning pop up right down here, right where that line is starting to kind of bow a little bit.
Right outside of Harrison, that's 160.2 mile an hour.
Yeah, Davis. I tell you, hail is it's a cool aspect of weather. I find hail rather fascinating, and I think the kids do too. You know, I go around and give seminars to kids in school, and we talk about hail, and we talk about everything from how hail is made. We talk about the biggest hailstone ever. The biggest hailstone ever fell in Vivian, South Dakota. Have any idea how big that was, Davis? It was over 7 inches in diameter, a size of a soccer ball. And it weighed almost 2 pounds. That's insane. It came down, went through a roof, went through a floor, and into the living room in the basement of the house. I mean, you're talking speeds of over 100 miles an hour from 25,000 feet high. I mean, it was, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine something that big. But that's the biggest hailstone that ever fell here in the United States. Crazy. Northeast Oklahoma. They're just now starting to get into the swing of things down there. Northeast Oklahoma. Look at that line of storms. So it is just now starting to push out. And again, you kind of notice how that line is just starting to bow a little bit. So they got special weather statements here, severe thunderstorm warning here for those strong winds as this thing is starting to kind of bow out. And I think that's the concern as this continues to move up into west central Missouri of a bow echo style line in which we could get some strong straight line winds. Oh yeah, I did, Davis, didn't I? I forgot. Yeah, that's nuts. Soccer ball size hail. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take that off of there for now. Hey Davis, since you're still up, Subby's Weather Talk. Subby Weather Talk has. We are now a corporate manager for Radar Omega. That's what you're looking at. What I use right here, Radar Omega, and I can get you a free copy to try it out for a while if you want. So if you think about it, have your dad message me, and I can get some information, and you can try out Radar Omega on your phone, computer, whatever. Try it out for a while, see if you like it. Good night, Catherine. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Misty, don't forget, you got a prize package waiting for you down at KDKD if I don't eat it first. Okay, sounds good, Davis. Yep, just have them get a hold of me. I'll get you hooked up on it. You can try it out. It's really a cool program. It's loaded with information. So it's really cool. They wanted Subby's Weather Talk to be a corporate manager, and that's one of the perks we get. Be able to let people try it out and give them a license for free. Plus, you get the top quality, or I shouldn't say top quality. You get the top tier package. So you get everything with Radar Omega. So it'd be kind of cool. I guess when you're able to stay up, you stay up. All right, let's take a look at this cell back up here. And again, it's not all that impressive now. Knobnoster, Lamont, Houstonia. You guys are going to be under the gun. Hughesville. And again, the strongest part of this cell is going to stay north of Sedalia. Just heavy rain right now. Probably, maybe some pea-sized hail. Maybe a little pea-sized hail just north of Lamont. But nothing severe from what I can see right now. Well, actually, our Crazy Ranch was in the stream earlier tonight, and we were talking about that, about how good it was. They're the ones that actually make the products, and of course, I got to sample before the raffle, and oh, so good! It was so good. And I told her, I said, well, if Missy doesn't come and pick them up here in the next couple days, I said, I can't guarantee they're still going to be there. And she goes, well, if you want to eat them, I'll get her another bag. So, hi, Andrew. Welcome to the stream. So they did go ahead and expire that severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson and Pettis County. It's still a strong thunderstorm. It's not severe warned anymore, but it's still a strong thunderstorm that's going to be affecting Lamont, Hughesville, and mainly rural area of Pettis County. And again, this is likely, most of it is going to stay north of Sedalia, although I think Sedalia will likely pick up maybe some shower activity, maybe some pea-sized hail. Well, if it's on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, Misty, just text me on Facebook, and I'll just meet you over at KDKD. and I'll just unlock the door, grab your prize, and you can go. You might have to give me one. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire for Johnson and Pettis County. We do have a strong thunderstorm that is going to be coming into Houstonia, Hughesville, Lamont. Most of this is going to stay to the north of Sedalia. Sedalia, you'll pick up some moderate to heavy rain, maybe some small pea-sized hail. But right now, it is not severe warned. Does not show any signs of strengthening back to severe, but we'll kind of keep an eye on it over the next few minutes. Hey, Sandra, man, you're up late tonight. So it's going to be a while for Springfield. It's still 140 miles away from you. So I'm guessing Springfield will probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of probably around 4, 5 a.m., somewhere in there before it gets up to you. .40 mile an hour. Let's just time it out. About 409. Sandra, if it's going on the same speed, same track. So right around the 4 o'clock hour. And that's probably about the time that it starts to come up here in west central Missouri as well. Oh, good. Well, we'll be on. I'll be live. So, you can come check us out if you can't find nowhere else to get local. Oh, no problem, Missy. Oh, we'll get some rain tonight, Missy. We'll get some rain with this next round coming through. All right, we'll do, Sandra. All right, so what we're going to do here, guys, we don't have the severe thunderstorm warning on the board. I am going to go ahead and watch this cell for just a few more minutes. Sandra says, problem is we have a lot of local. Oh, well, that's got to be good. That's a good thing. Okay, good night, Sandra. we're going to watch this cell just a little bit, just to make sure that it's not going to strengthen anymore as it comes into Pettis County. I'm not expecting it to. Just some, probably some gusty winds, 35, 40 miles per hour. Maybe some pea-sized hail, but mostly just some probably torrential rain for a very short amount of time is what you can expect in Pettis County. All right, guys, so I think what I am going to do so I think what I am going to do right now, guys, is I am going to go ahead and shut down the stream, and I'm going to start a new stream right back up again. So feel free to come back into the stream when you see a new one start. And then I'm going to keep my eye on this cell, but I am going to take a break. So we've been at it now for about 3.5 hours. I got to stretch my legs. So, so the app is that you'll download onto your phone is gonna called Cyclone Port, CYCLONE space port, PORT, Cyclone Port, and then I'll get you set up with that. So again, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this stream. We're gonna boot everything back up again. And I'm going to take a break. We're going to have radar up. We're going to have the ticker going. We're going to be watching this storm. But that'll give me a chance to get some coffee brewed and get my legs stretched. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now that we have a little bit of break in the weather. And again, I'm not forgetting about Pettis County. I'm going to be watching that cell. We're just going to refire up the stream. So make sure everybody jump back in to the stream, and then we'll take a little break. You're watching from Joplin, great. We're gonna be covering Joplin as well. So again, just make sure I'm going to end this stream, and make sure you jump on the next one, and then we'll be good to go. So I'll see you guys in about less than 5 minutes. We'll be back live again. Hi, Sierra. I'm getting ready to start a new live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one since we're having a couple issues on a couple pages. And I'm going to refire back up again here immediately. So make sure you get onto the new stream. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the stream right now, and I'll see you guys in about 2 minutes.